Hi guys, so I don't know if you know this, but I'm a big time Monster High fan. I've been a Monster High fan my whole life. I'm super into it, and I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but as of recording this, it was the anniversary of the Monster High movie Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love, which I believe is the first movie that came out of Monster High second generation, which is the best generation as we know. So I want to talk about it because I love that movie. I love that movie. Monster High is so legendary to me. There's so much that happens in Monster High where I'm like, wow, that's actually cinema. That's actually cinema, and I'm shocked every time. So that's what this video is gonna be. It's gonna be me talking about Monster High, Why Do Girls Fall in Love, because especially like no hate to the later movies. Like I also love the later movies. Not talking about the latest movies. I'm not talking about that. I mean the later movies. I love those, but the early ones, like especially like the shorter ones, they have like a magic to it. Like random shit was happening all the time, and I really respect it. I really respect it. There was always something happening in every scene. Even for such a short movie, they always had some bullshit going on. So I'm gonna be talking about it. So the movie starts off with Dracula's 1600th party, like a sweet 1600th. And you know what? I'm not gonna get into the whole thing about trying to understand the Monster High universe. However, Dracula and some of the other girls' ages have always perplexed me in a way. Has she been in school this entire time? What would be considered her teenage years? Does she progress the same as a normal human person? I do not know, but I will be finding out because I'm actually only thinking about it now and I'm quite curious. But the start of the movie starts off with her party and it's very Monster High. A lot of classic Monster High things are occurring. Frankie is powering the whole party with her own electricity. Jackson turns into Whole Tide. You know the deal. However, I just do want to go into a side tangent quickly because I've been reading, well, I finished reading the first Monster High book and I do want to make a video on it, so I will be doing that. Trust, I will be making a video on the Monster High books, as in the novels that came out the same time Monster High came out, because those are amazing. And the thing is, as a child, I loved Tide so much, Jackson Tide. But in the first book, that man is such a freakazoid. He's such a freakazoid. He. I will make a video on the books, but every time I see him in the movies now, I'm just like, oh my god, go away, Tide. Please leave the girls alone. Please leave the girls alone. But anyway, this is Dracula's 1600th party. Things are going good. Her dream gift is a car, which is funny because Dracula cannot drive. This is mentioned later in the movie, but also if you ever played the online games, like the website games, there's a game where you like take the driver's test as Dracula, and it's implied that she's terrible at driving. And in this movie, we also see that she's terrible at driving. And I think it's so funny when people want a car when they don't even have a license. Like, okay. Luckily, though, Dracula is not getting a car because this is all just a fantasy. This whole first part of the movie is a fantasy, and it's her explaining to Cleo and Claudine what her dream party would be like, because Cleo and Claudine are planning her 1600th birthday for her. They are actually quite worried, however, because how are they supposed to live up to 1599 birthdays, which is fair, but like, once again, how many of those birthdays were y'all there for? Cleo might have been there for many of them. Claudine's lifespan seems to be much lower than the rest of these because she's technically a dog, the same like Tortola is technically a cat. I'm worried about Claude and Dracula's like lifespan of their relationship. I just don't understand how this works, and I would like to find out. I really would. Talking about Claude though, he's quite stressed because he is broke. The man is broke. He's also a high school student, so it's fine, but man is broke. And he needs to buy Dracula a gift for not only her sweet 1600th, but it's also Valentine's Day on her birthday. And you know why? Because Valentine's Day was created for Dracula, and it's true, guys. Just trust us on this. Trust us on this. Valentine's Day was gifted to Dracula, which is a big thing in this movie, and we'll get into more detail later. However, Claudine and Cleo are talking about planning Dracula's sweet 1600th, and Torelai comes over and she's like, so where's my invite? Now, many thoughts on Torelai. She's despicable in many of these movies. Like, she does some inexcusable things, specifically that movie. I believe she like caught on a lot of shit in that movie when the humans found the monsters. I think it's called New Ghoul in School, I believe. I will correct myself on this. But Toralei does like a lot of diabolical things. However, she is kind of so cool. She's fierce. That girl is fierce. And I'm bringing this up because earlier today I saw a clip of the live action Monster High movie that I've never watched, because the second I saw a picture of that shit, or the second I saw clips, I was like, I don't want nothing to do with it. That movie actually is so and I heard there's two actually. That is so disrespectful to Monster High fans, including me, because excuse me. Now I don't want to go into too much of a tangent about this, but Draculaura being a witch, Claudine dating Deuce being not hot and a hipster. Why is Deuce a hipster and Heath Burns is like a jock? Well, technically Heath Burns is a jock, but he's lame. Like, his whole thing is that he's lame. I'm sorry, Claudine dating Deuce. What are we talking about? What? Claudine's also canonically a lesbian. So why is she dating Deuce? She doesn't like men. Also, Deuce and Cleo are the greatest couple of all time. Like, I actually am getting very upset thinking about it, but that's not the point. I saw a clip of Toralei, and Toralei is still being her mean self in the live action, but she's not fierce. Like, the mean stuff is only acceptable if you have, like, clout to back it up. She has no clout. They are all wearing Timu ass wigs with, like, crazy store face paint makeup. Oh, it makes me so mad. And it's like, that's why I was like low-key happy to see Toralei be so like fierce and evil in this movie, because it's like, yeah, that's the Toralei I know, not Timu as Toralei with the fake ass wig. Not having it. But anyway, she's like, where's my invite for Draculaura Sweet 1600? And Cleo and Claudine were like, excuse me, like, you are the worst to us, especially Draculaura, on multiple occasions. You are not invited, you evil, nasty woman. And Toralei is shocked by this, which is crazy, because it's like, you are constantly like the worst person to be around. Like, you cannot be shocked by this. But now she decides she's gonna get revenge. She's gonna make sure this party is the worst party ever, because she's miserable and nasty, but she's fierce. So like, okay guys, it's okay. Actually, before I move on from Toralei, I found out like there's a comic book or something, canon comic book, I believe, where Toralei and Claudine get together. I'm not complaining. I just didn't see that. You know what, guys? I don't think that works. I don't think that works. Only because I don't think Toralei is a lesbian. That's just not the vibe I get from her. And also, Toralei is repeatedly mean to everyone on multiple occasions. She kind of softens up in, I believe, Laguna's book that occurs right before Great Scary Reef. I'm pulling out memories that I have from like all of this stuff from like 5 years ago. I could be talking out of my ass 100%, but she kind of has more chemistry with Laguna than she does with Claudine. And I kind of do ship Toralei with Laguna, but that's all separate thing. I just don't see Claudine and Toralei together. I feel like, you know who this is not going to make sense at all. I don't even think I've seen these two interact with each other ever. Literally ever. But I kind of feel Claudine and, what's her name? The plant one, Venus Flytrap. I think that's her name. I kind of see it. And do they even talk to each other? No, but that's just my side tangent. Then I need to stop going on side tangents, because this is about why do ghouls fall in love. I even forgot the name for a second. I need to get back on track, guys. I'm so sorry. Actually, quick before I get back on track, I just remembered something. I don't know if I'm also making this up, like I hallucinated this, but a few years ago I found out those two cat friends that Toralei is friends with, she met them in jail. I don't know if I hallucinated this or is this like real law. If I made this up, I'm sorry, but like that's such an odd thing for me to make up. I don't think I would lie about something like that. But anyway, back to the movie. Claude decides he's gonna get Draculaura like driver's ed book for her as a gift, because he knows she wants to learn how to drive. So he was like, let me help you out. She does not like this gift. She's quite disappointed, and all of Draculaura's friends were like, You don't get a practical gift. Come on, it's her sweet 1600th, and also it's Valentine's Day, and he's like, I got something else too, and he got this fuck ass gargoyle necklace, and they were like, enough, literally enough. I think he was trying his best. I'm not a Claude defender by any means. Like, I would say I don't really care about Claude like that. I think he's a good boyfriend to Draculaura. I think he's a good guy, but he's not somebody I would like go to war for, unlike Deuce and Cleo, which that's my top tier. But like, Claude is trying his best, if we're being for real. Claude is not a bad boyfriend by any means. So because Claude has bad gifts, they decide they were going to go talk to Cupid to ask, not go talk to Cupid, because Cupid has a radio show where she answers questions about love and all of that. So they said that they were going to phone in to Cupid and ask like some questions. Abby, who I love dearly, Abby does not like the Cupid radio show because she thinks people be wasting too much time with love these days. Everyone wants to play games and nobody wants to be direct anymore. And you know what? Abby's so right. I think everybody should take Abby's advice. But anyway, Claude phones in and he's like, what do I get the ghoul who has everything? And Cupid was like, show her that you listen. So then he decided he was going to make like a step ladder situation for her locker because she can never reach anything because she's so short. Which I thought, wow, this is a great gift, Claude. Draculaura did not agree. She did not agree. She starts crying and she's like, so you think I'm short? The thing is, this is a great gift because she genuinely cannot reach anything and she does not have vampire wings yet. And also canonically, Draculaura is one of the shortest monsters in the entire school. And her friends should have tried to talk some sense into her because I feel like there's a level of delusion here that they needed to be serious about, okay? But now Draculaura, she's in the bathroom, she's crying. And then she says she might be overreacting and all of that, but it's just like she has really high expectations for Valentine's Day, but you guys already know that story. And the other girls, being Cleo and Claudine, were like, yeah, please, we don't want to hear the story again, but Frankie has never heard the story. But this implies that she talks about this all the time, which I think is a bit weird. I do think it's a bit weird because she's been with Claude for a while, and it's like, talking about your ex, I think is fine if there's a reason to talk about said ex, or even if you're just complaining. But she isn't complaining about the ex, she be gushing. She's constantly like, oh, Valentine, which I'm gonna get into that for a second, but it's like, I like Draculaura, but I think in this movie she is a bit strange and a bit odd because she has not been with Valentine in literally 400 years. But anyway, she tells the story. Back when she was in Transylvania, which I believe is where she's from, I think, I hope I'm not mixing vampire movies, but I think the law was that she was in Transylvania and then she got kicked out. But anyway, like, of the town, because vampires, I guess. So she went to school in Transylvania, and there was this guy, the most romantic monster in the whole world, Valentine, and everybody was obsessed with Valentine because Valentine can hypnotize people, but they didn't know that. And Draculaura says every monster wanted him, but he chose her. Valentine is a very interesting character to me, and I'll get more into that now, but anyway, she really loved Valentine, and then she had to move away, and things are different now that she's with Claude, but she sounds so disappointed to be with Claude. Claude's a good man. I don't think she understands what a hard relationship is. If she wants to complain about being in a hard relationship, go talk to your homegirl Laguna. Maybe check on your friend Laguna, who is dating a boy with racist, bigoted parents. Now, another side tangent. I'm so sorry, you guys. Everybody's like always saying some shit about how like, oh, Gil's a terrible boyfriend. Gil is probably right wing. Gil is such a Republican. Which do I think Gil's parents are probably right wing and he has a very bigoted family? Yes. But do I think Gil is? No, but like he doesn't really stand up for her as much as he should. But going back to the main story, if Draculaura wants to find out what the difficult relationship is, she should date Gil because she has a good man. She does have a good man. But anyway, Toralei is in the bathroom as well. She overhears this whole thing, so she decides she's gonna call Valentine and pretend to be Draculaura and ask him to transfer to Monster High in attempt to ruin Draculaura's party because she is mad she wasn't invited. And Toraline needs a hobby. Toraline needs a hobby, but I guess being mean is her only hobby. Anyway, she calls Valentine. Now, many things about Valentine. When I was a child, I was obsessed with Valentine. I had a few Monster High crushes. Deuce. Okay, and I'm also not going to explain why. Deuce. Heath Burns. Yeah. And Valentine. Now, I stand by Deuce. I know what I saw in Heath, but Valentine is obviously a homosexual. That is a gay man. That's a gay monster. And he's canonically also confirmed to be gay, same like how Claudine is confirmed to be a lesbian. And he was so obviously gay, and I think that's why Valentine was so evil. He was upset that he was stuck in the closet, and he should have just came out, because I promise you, no monster would have gaffed. I think there's bigger issues in the monster world than homosexuals, okay? And he should have just came out, and then maybe he wouldn't have been like such a bitter loser. And maybe Toralai is a lesbian. Maybe that's why she's a bitter loser. I still don't see her. I don't see that vibe though. But Valentine's definitely a evil, closeted gay vampire. That's what he is. But I was obsessed with him as a child. I think it was his dramatic flair. But anyway, Valentine's whole thing, by the way, he has these 3 clouds that are always above him, and those clouds are so funny. They like do background vocals for him. They are so fun to watch. But anyway,
smooth, man, real
copacetic,
smooth.
Valentino.
That's cool, Daddy.
his whole thing is he makes girls fall in love with him, and he will like hypnotize them if he has to, and then he has these glasses that can see like if their heart is full or not, and if their heart becomes full, he steals them and keeps their broken hearts as trophies because he's miserable. And his mom is always embarrassing him. And I love how his voice changes whenever he's screaming at his mother. That's really funny to me.
Sweet butter tongue.
Who are you talking to
Mom,
on the telephone?
get off the line. You want me?
But anyway, Toralai phones him pretending to be Draculaura, inviting him back, and he's really excited to go to, well, not inviting him back, inviting him to transfer to Monster High, and he's quite excited, and the clouds are like, why are you so obsessed with Draculaura? And he says basically Draculaura physically has the biggest heart of any monster he's ever seen, and he never got to keep the trophy of her, and her heart would complete his collection. So he's evil, bored, needs a real hobby, and needs to clean his damn room and do his chores as his mother told him to. These people, these monsters, okay? At the same time, however, there's multiple side plots happening. For example, Gulia cannot decide who she likes more between these two zombies, Slow-Mo and Dom, I believe. And Gil and Laguna are like trying to help her, and Laguna keeps on like telling her she needs to listen to her heart, but Gil gives her the idea that science can decide for her. So she makes a coding program to see who she's more compatible with between the two boys, but she gets a third result completely different. Her like most suitable match is Heath Burns.
Hey, hot stuff.
Heath Burns.
Holla.
Okay, my man. I'm joking. I do not like him anymore. I think I grew out of that, you guys. I think I'm long gone from that. Maybe. God forbid a girl like a silly man. Okay, anyway. So that is happening. Also at the same time, Cleo and Claudine are trying to find the perfect party vibe because they still want to throw that party for Draculaura, and they find this place in the catacombs. Unfortunately, there's a giant sludge stinky pit in that venue, even though it's a really nice venue, it's a really cool venue. But Operator, who lives in the catacombs, I assume catacombs so Operator decides she's gonna help them like clean up that mess. Not clean up, but like rope it up so that people don't fall in there. Also, I'd like to say Cleo and Claudine are very much over this whole Valentine thing, because Cleo is like, you only knew him for a week, and Claudine was like, he didn't really, oh my god, I forgot to tell you. So Valentine, while he was trying to win over Draculaura's heart back in the day, decided for her birthday, he's gonna gift her a holiday, being Valentine's Day. And Draculaura is like, and it was so romantic, he gave me a holiday just for me. And Cleo keeps on telling her like, I don't think it was just for you if he named it after himself. But she's like, never mind all that. Anyway, Claude keeps on harassing Cupid, being like, I don't know what to get her, like she don't like anything. So then Cupid is like, the reminder of why she fell in love with you in the first place. So he gets a box of all of their memories and he's gonna show it to her, like memories of their like best moments in their relationship. He's gonna show it to her. Unfortunately, he never gets to do that because Draculora is instantly distracted by Valentine coming to the school. He literally comes like while she's in the middle of her driver's test, which she fails, by the way. So he comes and surprises her, and she is too excited. She doesn't even hesitate. Keep in mind, Draculora is not hypnotized. This is just her in herself, and she is obsessed with Valentine. She runs to him immediately. She's too excited. She then proceeds to spend the entire day with Valentine as if they are dating. Now, this is my issue with Miss Draculora. Claude would never do this, okay? Not to take a man's side. I like Draculora, but this was kind of crazy. Your ex from 400 years ago comes in and you acting like you don't even have a man. Okay. So she is completely obsessed with Valentine. She spends the whole day with him, and her friends go to confront her. They're being actually really good friends about this. And obviously Claudine is mad because Claude is her brother and Draculora is pretending like she don't even know the man. And they tell her basically, you have to break up with Claude if you're gonna act like this, because this is preposterous. This is crazy. Meanwhile, back to the B plot, Heath is too excited that he's Julia's perfect match, which is pretty on brand for him, because he's excited about the prospect of being with any woman in any capacity. So he's really excited. But Gil and Laguna tell him, yo, I think you need to cool it, literally. Because you don't want to scare Julia. Like, she's a nice girl, she's quiet, she's calm. Don't be doing too much. But Heath is like, excuse me, I'm a perfect match, which means I need to turn it up, because obviously we're compatible with me being the way I am. Yeah. So that's what happened there. That's the B plot that's going on. Meanwhile, back to Draculora. She goes to talk to Valentine and she's basically like, yo, it's been fun, but what me and Claude have is real. Like, I really love him. We have a real relationship going. Sorry. And I respect her for this. I respect her for being honest and acknowledging that what her and Claude have is a good thing. It's a good vibe. Valentine takes personal offense and he gets really scary about this. And he hypnotizes her. He fully hypnotizes her because he's not going home without that heart. She's like completely brain dead now, and she doesn't even break up with Claude directly. The clouds, Valentine's clouds, break up with Claude for her.
You got dumped.
Which causes Claude to have a mental breakdown where he seriously injures Manny. I think he gives Manny a concussion, which I don't mind because I hate Manny. Manny deserves many more concussions, but he's quite upset. And the Ghouls are like very weirded out because it's like, who acts like that, you know what I mean? And then they go talk to her and they're like, oh, so about your sweet 1600th birthday. And Draculora was like, oh no, I'm not going to that. I want to spend it with Valentine. It's like, it's that one friend who never wants to hang out with friends and always chooses a boyfriend over friends. Like, that's literally Draculora right now. And the Ghouls are like, what the hell? What the hell? And obviously they're mad because they be planning this party, but they know she's acting weird. They know something must be up. So they're like, do you know who would be able to fix this? We go to Cupid. She would know. Cupid then tells them that she's going to shoot Draculora with the, Cupid's bow. And then she's going to make sure Claude is the first person Draculora sees. And then that will reverse the curse. However, when they go to set up the shot, Cupid realizes that Valentine's powers are too strong and she'll need 2 arrows, so she puts 2 arrows in. Unfortunately, Taralai is also in the area. She knows what they're gonna do, so she decides she's gonna throw a paper airplane that hits Cupid when she's about to take the shot, which causes Cupid to misfire, leading the 2 arrows to hit Cupid and Claude, making them fall in love. Which, so much happens in the span of 45 minutes. Nowadays, Hollywood be releasing 3-hour movies and nothing of note happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Monster High. Monster High needs to come back. Like, I mean, like, serious Monster High, not this nonsense. If people in Hollywood are bored and just want to carry on stealing old work instead of making new movies, maybe adapt the books, the amazing novels by Lacey Harrison. Maybe adapt those, because those are amazing. And I've been waiting a long time. I was hoping someday there'd be a TV show about the books or the movies about the books, because those books are amazing, and I will get to it someday. But anyway, Cupid and Claude are madly in love and are obsessed with each other, and they kind of don't gaff about anything anymore. And anytime Claudine is like, yo, we need to solve this whole thing, like, you guys know you aren't really in love, right? They keep on telling her she's a hater, she hates love. And Draculaura and Valentine are happy too, so why don't you just leave us alone? Which, guys, there's big problems occurring, but nobody gaff. Literally nobody gaff. Also, Valentine is getting really annoyed because Draculaura's heart is taking really long to fill up, basically, and he needs to make sure that her heart is full before, like, within 3 days, which is like coincidentally going to be her birthday, because if he doesn't do that in time, if he doesn't steal her broken heart in that time, then the spell, like the hypnosis, will become permanent, and she will never be able to love anybody ever, and her heart will, like, disappear. Or I don't know, I think that's how it works. So he needs to do this now, or else he'll never get Draculaura's heart as a trophy. But also, Frankie and Abby decide they're gonna go to Cupid's office because she isn't there, because she's so obsessed with Claude. And they're gonna see if they can find anything to maybe reverse the spells, both spells. And while they're there, because Cupid is so obsessed with Claude and is nowhere to be found, people are calling into the radio and she's not answering, so Abby answers. And Frank is very much like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. But Abby, Abby does what Abby wants. And she answers everything in her direct way. And people really like it. I like it too. So Abby fully takes over for Cupid during this time.
She's not here. I'm Abby. I help.
Well, I like the school, but I don't know how to talk to her.
Be direct. Do not waste breath on flowery introductions. Say, hello, I like you. You like me? See? It's easy.
Okay.
During this time, Frankie takes the bow because Julio is doing research on this whole Cupid thing. And she finds out that if you break Cupid's bow, all of the spells get cancelled out, I guess. Also, during this time, she finds out that her laptop had a literal bug in it, which means Heath is not a perfect match. So she's thinking, how am I going to break up with him? Not the point though. They find out they need to break Cupid's bow. And then Frankie has a plan to get everybody at Draculaura's 1600th party. So they invite everybody and they eventually convince Valentine and Draculaura to come to the party as well. At the party, they try to break the bow, but then Torelei grabs it and she starts chaos. She's shooting at everybody. It's a whole thing. But Frankie ends up being able to steal it in the end, and she breaks it, snapping Cupid and Claude out of the spell. So she gives Claude that original box of memories from earlier in the movie to show Draculaura, because that would snap Draculaura out of Valentine's like hypnosis, because she'll remember like the real memories that she had with Claude. Claude tries to do this, but Valentine like pushes him away or whatever, but this causes him to drop the box, and Draculaura sees everything in the box and she does snap out of it, and Torelei and Valentine end up falling into the sludge pit, the smelly sludge pit, which is what they deserve because they were working together. I don't know if I think I forgot to mention, but after Valentine comes to Monster High, Torelei tells him the full plan and they decide to work together. So it's not like this entire time he thought Draculaura was calling him back. No, he knew. He knew this was all a setup, but he's also evil. And maybe they are both homosexuals, and that's why they are closeted homosexuals, and that's why they are so frustrated and evil. Not that all closeted homosexuals are evil. I did not say that, guys. I did not say that. I said this would explain their frustration. I am not a bigot like Gil's parents, okay? I'm nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. More power to you. Actually, it's February right now. Isn't that Pride? No, it's Black History Month. But future Pride Month, guys. I'm not bigoted, guys. I swear. But anyway, the party goes really well. Draculaura is able to retake her driving test, so she does end up getting the car. Things are going really well, and also a sweet touch to the movie, because Draculaura broke Valentine's curse. All of the other girls' broken hearts, like the trophies they all healed and they were able to move on after Valentine did his evil bullshit on them. But anyway, that's the end of the movie. It's a great movie, you guys. Monster High. Monster High is so good. It's so good. Also has one of the best theme songs in animated movie history, animated show history. I think their theme song rivals My Scenes, which you know how I feel about My Scene. I think My Scene is amazing, a masterpiece. But I love Monster High, and soon I will be doing a video on the Monster High books, because I genuinely, okay, people love the movies. I love the movies clearly, but the Monster High books, the novels, are genuine works of art. That is pure art, and I love it so much. So I will be doing videos on the books eventually. I don't know what video is coming next, but trust, there will be a video. So you should subscribe. You should subscribe. Not that I'm forcing you anything, but like I humbly suggest you should. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.